Hello and welcome back to Embodied Astrology. This is a weekly series where I share practical teachings and intuitive messages about the astrology of the week ahead so that you can work with this energy to embody your most authentic self and live your best life. The headline for this week is we have a new moon in Taurus on Saturday the 16th, and it just feels like a week where there's astrology that's really kind of simple, practical, but also really positive and celebratory. So let's get right into it. I get the sense that this week is a good week for good news. There's a lot of really positive Mercury action happening. It has a little moment with Jupiter early in the week. We have a Mercury Cazimi happening on Thursday, which is when Mercury and the sun come together in the sky. Anytime the sun and a planet come together, it symbolizes a new cycle, it's renewal, it's breakthrough, it's a cleansing. And so we're getting really supportive messages of good news, of support, of clarity, of perhaps like a little bit of recognition. Like if you feel like there's a problem you've been trying to solve, or you have writer's block, or like there's something that's kind of blocking you from figuring out a thing or knowing how to say it or what exactly your next moves are. It just feels like this week we're getting that clarity and that push and kind of that little clue that will allow you to move forward in a way that makes you feel more confident. There's a tiny fly in the ointment for this week's astrology, and this happens on Saturday right before the new moon in Taurus. Mars, the planet of drive and motivation and energy, but also anger and conflict, coming together with Chiron, which is a minor planet. It symbolizes the wounded healer, and in astrology, it speaks to wounds that you have, ways that you've been hurt in the past, but how you can kind of take the learnings from experiencing that pain and those wounds and helping others move through similar pain. So with Mars coming together with this minor planet, it feels like there's a little bit of agitation, like you might get a little bit annoyed, you might be a little bit like pissed off, but I'm hoping that this is just kind of like a little blip on the radar, and that it doesn't spoil the energy of the new moon in Taurus, which happens shortly thereafter, also on Saturday the 16th. When I tapped into the energy of this new moon in Taurus, it felt like an invitation to keep things really simple and really practical with your intention setting. As always, new moons are a great time to set an intention, and new moons in Taurus in particular are always really like fertile new moons. They're great new moons to set intentions under because the moon just loves being in the sign of Taurus. But I got the sense that we don't want to overcomplicate things with this moon. It's Taurus after all. It's a sign that is very grounded, practical, appreciates like the little things, the simplicity and the abundance of everyday life. But at the same time, there's also an invitation to kind of be really curious about where this new moon takes you, and also to embrace this spirit of play. When we're looking at the energy of a new or full moon and what the vibe of it is, essentially, we like to look at the planet that rules the sign where the new moon is happening. So in this case, the new moon is going to be in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is currently transiting Gemini. Gemini is the sign of curiosity and learning, speaking, sharing ideas. And so I do think there is also an element to this new moon that is about just being curious, not having any sort of expectation about where it might take you, to really just enjoy, to be social, to like enjoy this beautiful spring weather. It just feels very celebratory. And that reminds me, I wanted to read to you guys the oracle card that I pulled for this episode. So every time I do these episodes, I like to sit in meditation, tap into the energy, look at the chart, and then I also love to pull a card. So I pulled this card for the new moon in Taurus, and it was just so cute. I usually paraphrase, but I feel like I just have to read it to you guys word for word because it was just so cute. So the vibe of this new moon is celebration. I just want to read you this because I think you'll find it really sweet. And when I read it, I was just like, oh, this is so nice. Okay. So this card brings good news. You will soon have reason to celebrate. Expect good things and positive developments. Think about all the good in your life at this very moment. What do you have to be grateful for? Be grateful for it now. Do a little dance of gratitude. Stay focused on solutions, not problems. Open your heart and be as happy as you can with the way things are now. Being upbeat about the good things in your life is hugely important when it comes to creating the life that you want. It's as though better things come to those who are already buzzing. The essential message of this card is you'll get what you want once you love what you have. Feeling grateful is key. If you're going through a situation so tough that it's hard to be grateful, dig deeper for something you're happy about. Good times are ahead. You have to believe it. And this card is a sign urging you to be more optimistic. You have every reason for optimism. Isn't that so nice? When I pulled it for you guys, I was like, yes, this is really good energy. So in short, I think the assignment is to really just bask in the energy of Taurus that is all about gratitude, recognizing and indulging in the abundance that's all around us, appreciating what we have, and just really living in the moment as much as we possibly can, calling in all the good things that we're excited to enjoy, but also really enjoying all the good things that we are experiencing now. And that is the practice for you this week, is really just to be in this energy of celebration, enjoying, of being in gratitude, and of course, planting a little seed of intention if you like. But I think more than anything, just cultivating that sense of presence this week. The sense of celebration is really the most important thing and most astrologically aligned thing that you can be doing this week. And that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate your comments and your likes and your subscribing. It's so fun to hear how the current astrology is landing with you. So please keep the comments coming. I want to stay in touch and hear what's going on with you. If you're feeling like you want to start something new around this new moon in Taurus, but you're in need of a little bit of cosmic cheerleading and guidance, then I would love to help you. You can grab a time in my calendar for a True You astrology reading. This is my signature astrology reading where we connect to your authentic self and discover your unique potential through the lens of your birth chart. It is super fun. It's all about giving you the confidence, clarity, and motivation to move forward and just to understand yourself better and to feel really seen and validated in the journey you've been on and feel excited about where you're heading. So if that speaks to you, go ahead and grab a time in my calendar below. Thanks for watching. Happy new moon in Taurus, and I will see you next week for the start of Gemini season. See you then.